Yo. Oh, sorry, my bad. Can't hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle at work.
Yep. I'm about to do that thing.
Thought she was out for the summer.
Huh? The podcast.
Oh, that's today?
Yeah.
In your hood when I said, what's up?
What's up?
You hear me now? Tell him I said, what's up?
Man, what's going on?
You got it. Well, y'all been rocking for a minute.
That's it, man. That's it, man. Oh.
Yeah, y'all been rocking for a minute. I'm just making sure. I'm finna go. I'm gonna come right back in the camera in a minute.
All right.
Quick. What's up?
Man, what's going on?
You got it. Well, y'all been.
What'd you say?
I guess in a minute it's gonna start recording when the Zoom. It's supposed to start at 7:30, so it's 7:28.
All right.
So I guess it's gonna start recording in a minute. What time Kyla
Okay.
get off?
I have no idea.
She just
But
text.
she said, what'd she say?
She just text. So what's been going on? You still be hooping sometimes?
Oh no, I ain't picked up the ball in so long.
You ain't picked up a ball in so long.
Yeah. You have to be quiet, okay?
Why you ain't picked the ball up?
Look, whoa, I ain't really been to a gym in so long. I probably need to, because let me tell you, I'll probably be huffing by the time I hit the baseline to the free throw line. I definitely would.
How you doing? What's your name?
Good.
Huh?
What's your name?
Morgan. How you doing? How you doing, Morgan?
Good.
You gonna be a basketball player like your mama? Oh, okay. Okay. Looking like both of them. She look like both of y'all.
Good, because I'm tired of people saying she looked just like her daddy. So I take that.
She look like both of y'all.
Just me. She looked just like me.
You put my thing back in my.
I'm gonna do this, so I want you to go sit, okay? Go in your room or go get your iPad.
Look.
Hey!
What's up, Kylie? You in 3D and shit? What's up? I guess it's gonna get ready to start. How do we go on to start now, Steve?
Oh,
Huh?
All right, go ahead. Tell TT hey.
Ain't nobody on there.
okay.
Let me see. It should be.
Mama, can you
Okay, tell TT
I guess
hey.
we
Hey, T.
I guess we on. I guess.
Yeah, but see if some people in the live on the
Who all y'all see on the live? Are y'all looking at it?
no, see, look at Facebook and see if anybody.
I just see us three.
You tell them on
Nobody.
you see 3 watching and just say us 3.
Yeah, just us three.
Okay, that's how we'll start it. I can go over there for a second with it. So we gonna get started. It don't make no difference. And you go on and let them know that we done got started. But we're gonna go on and get started. What you smiling for, Kyle?
Oh no.
All right. But this is what I got going. What I got going on. I'm trying to get something started, but I'm gonna need y'all help because for one, I got to get folks to really understand who I am as a person when it comes to this, when it comes to basketball. 2, I just feel like kids are not getting their right service done with them. I feel like more kids are used as a marketing tool now than just trying to feed them in on what it takes to be a ball player. They're more living off the hype, not wanting to put in the work that it takes to get to that next level, but they'll fall into the hype real quick and follow it. But we get caught up in ranking kids too much for me. I don't think these kids should have a number on it because there's not a kid separating themselves away from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That much to be like, oh, this kid is the best. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm not going to focus on it right now. I'm just going to introduce who I am, but I'm going to break down why I'm going to tier kids later on in the show while we talk. But I just want to invite everyone and hope people can learn from what we're finna talk about. So with that being said, I'm gonna start with Kyla because it's always go Alexis, you go first in these conversations. So we're gonna start with Kyla first. Introduce yourself, let us know who you are, you know what I'm saying, what year you graduated, what school you came from, what you did, and all that.
All right. I'm Kyla Malone. I went to Oxford High School, graduated in 2016. Then I left Pearl River Community College in Poplarville, Mississippi, graduated in 2018. Then I went on to University of New Orleans in 2020. And I played ball, obviously.
All right. Who you play AAU for, Kyla?
Yeah. AU for you, Mississippi boy.
All right, Alexis.
Well, I'm Alexis Malone McGee now. I graduated high school in 2013 from Oxford High School. Then I went on to the University of Buffalo, New York. Stayed there 2 years. Then I transferred to Louisiana Tech, and I finished there in 2018. Yeah, 2018. Had a chance to go pro in France. But that didn't work out because I was expecting a little bundle of joy at the time. So now I'm married, nursing, and being a mother.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, we just gonna go through y'all high school career first. Since Alexis, since you graduated first, we just gonna break it down with you. All right. Were you a Dan and Dozen, Alexis?
Yes.
Okay. Dogs. Okay. Man, I feel honored because I was just trying to remember. I know Drake was, but I remember you and Erica was on that team. Both of y'all were Dan and Dozen, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how was it? We're gonna start off with because it's a lot of ways that people look at me. You know what I'm saying? And this side that I'm trying to bring out to show people that I'm very serious about what I'm doing. We just gonna start with how was it playing for me? You know what I'm saying? During the summer.
So I think for me, because previously we had played with another AU team, and then we came to you. So I think I got a little bit of both. So on one side, it was not given to us, but it was more of a way of like we didn't get it out the mud versus when we played with you, we got it out the mud. Like, you know, everything, practices were legit. You know, you made us work, train, like you bought all of our what was it? What was those band things? You know, you bringing out the weight set.
The band.
Yes, the weight ball and everything. But you also let us play. Whatever you seen our strength was, you let us do that while trying to bring other capabilities out of us and abilities out of us. And I think that was one reason we were able to grow, because you allowed us to play whatever to our strengths, but you also allowed us to have free reign to try other stuff, if that makes sense. So you was like, why don't you bring the ball down sometime? You know, stuff like that. And so I really appreciated that for sure.
No doubt. We're gonna break it down into parts too. How was it you, Kyla, playing for me? How was it playing for me?
I think we clicked. I feel like you understood me, because a lot of coaches, they like to say little things to react or work hard, but I think you understood and you were more like, it's okay, you talk me through. And then me being one of the youngest, I think you really pulled out the most out of me out of all the coaches that I had. I think you got a lot out of me that others didn't get. And it was because they didn't have that connection with me. Like, they didn't give me the confidence I needed. The stuff they say kind of tear you down. So like, I don't want to play. Like, I don't want to do this. You know, so I become rebellious anyway.
But I look at when I measure kids, like even when I was recruiting y'all, you know what I'm saying? When I measure kids, I measure, you know what I'm saying, the predicament. I already knew coming from the history of y'all mom that both of y'all had big shoes to try to fill, you know what I'm saying? But I also think that it should have been pushed. And I felt like Kyla as a baby, like Alexis took on the challenge, like, what's up? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it was so pushed and installed in Alexis, and Kyla seen it. Like, Kyla Slick wanted to be herself. And I seen Kyla, you know what I'm saying, coming into her own that second year. Because same thing, Alexis, like when you wasn't there, like Kyla used to come down, pull up, shoot threes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gave her that freedom, but with Kyla, I just didn't want her to feel like she had so much pressure and trying to be like her mom and trying to be like Alexis, you know what I'm saying? Because those are big shoes to fill, you know what I'm saying? Them ain't no easy shoes to fill. And I just felt like when I met Kyla, she was just a baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we putting pressure on her? You know what I'm saying? But Kyle, I will tell you this. You were the first player, and when I met you, you was in the 8th grade, that I ever seen that can shoot jump shots with both of their hands. I just thought this shit was just so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think I took a liking. Like, y'all need to leave her alone, because we working with something right here. Like, it's something different right here. So overall, like, y'all don't know that y'all were helping me more than y'all felt like I was helping y'all. And that's a story for another day. We might get into it, we might not. But Alexis, we want to get to playing at Oxford High School for Coach Lindsay at the time. Yeah, break that down.
So Coach Lindsay, I can't remember if he came on my freshman year at Oxford or not.
I think it was just
yeah. Okay, so freshman year, sophomore year, I was out both years with knee injuries, same time of the year, both times. So I'm gonna talk about my junior year and senior year. So junior year was the year, of course, you won state championship. We, went 34-0, had all that stuff. But Coach Lindsay was a coach where he was one that'd get under your skin to see if you could, what you would react to. Or he'll come, if he see that you're not reacting, you bumping heads, like, then he'll pull back. So he was one that would try to read you to see how you would react, first, and then go from there. So.
Kyla?
Coach Lindsay kind of did me how you did me. Like, he'd chew me out, but he would do it privately instead of in front of everybody. And he would take like with Lex, they'll yell at her. They don't care. But with me, they'll kind of be like, "Hey, why'd you get this?" Or But I think with Coach Lindsay, I liked Coach Lindsay. I mean, he let me have free reign. Like my freshman year playing with my sister, I was more on the outside, which is something I was actually quite comfortable with because I don't like being back to the basket. So I think Coach Lindsay, like you allowed me to play to what I was comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he was very opening to what we had to say. So, like, if we're in a defense and we see that it's not working or we need to make the adjustment, he was very open to making the adjustment when he called a timeout or the next dead ball. And
that's one thing that I like too. But before we get to the high school careers, we forgot to talk about the whole AAU season. You know what I'm saying, Lex? Man. Because like I say, y'all had already been on an AAU team and on exposure, but I had never been on an exposure circuit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Shout out to Coach Thompson for finding a way to get me, you know what I'm saying, a way to help kids in this state at the time when I was doing it. And I remember our first event we went to an event in Nashville. We just played. It was supposed to be our sister program.
Yeah, the Tennessee Glory, right?
Tennessee Glory. We was Mississippi Glory. Man, we went up there and kicked his whole program. We beat the whole program from the 9th graders to 10th graders, the juniors. Then we ended up playing the juniors twice and beat them twice. And so like, I was so green. I was kind of like, that's letting y'all know that y'all can compete with people across the world. You know what I'm saying? Right. So this was a sign because they had already been, you know what I'm saying, been out. Mm-hmm. Those people had already done seen the game and how it was. And so I remember going to Louisville. It was the Adidas National Championship. And Justice wasn't going. Man, we piled up in a Tahoe. About 9 people piled up in the Tahoe. Yeah. We rolled all the way up there, man, in that Tahoe like it wasn't nothing. And one thing I remember from that trip outside of winning the national championship was the first day that we was there. I think they give you a play-in game. And we was winning by like 40. Mm-hmm. But I still was going in on y'all, you know what I'm saying? And so Stackhouse, you know what I'm saying? She from Coldwater, so she was with me. And so they was like, what is wrong with him? We just won by 40. Man, we were supposed to win by 60, you know what I'm saying? Right. I just didn't never want no one to take advantage of any opportunity that we had because it was people making sacrifices, you know what I'm saying, that y'all didn't even know, you know what I'm saying? I was truly making some sacrifices that I truly understand that it worked out because I look at a lot of players that I done helped. You, Kyler, Drake, Justice, Piggy, Frog. These people have turned out to be successful people. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that it's all totally on when we work with each other, but we all played a part because when it comes to raising kids, it always takes a village to do what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what had got me because what y'all didn't know until the next day is that because that first night, y'all remember the next morning I came and knocked on y'all door and said, let me use y'all bathroom. And you was like, Coach, where you stayed at last night? I was like, I stayed in the truck. You know what I'm saying? Because we only had enough money to pay for one room. So I was saying to myself, I sleep in the room in the truck long as these kids can get seen. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole aspect. Right. And y'all was like, Coach, you ain't got to sleep in no truck. You can sleep by the door. You know what I'm saying? And everything. So I think that moment what really clicked during the national championship run, because that next day, pat, it was nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely think that moment made everybody's bond closer because we were realizing the sacrifices that everybody made, you know, that you made. Because at one point we went somewhere in that van that didn't have air, but we were going.
Yeah.
But we were going. So I feel like that part and that much commitment is, you know, that plays a big part in not just basketball, but in life in general. It shows, that you're very much dedicated and willing to go the extra mile. We show hot up in that thing.
Oh yeah. But so Lex, you played for a state championship. You won a state championship, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think I remember you went 6 for 6 that game, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Didn't miss a shot. You know what I'm saying? It was just a beast, like sending shit all across the gym. And I'm like, man. So not to take anything away from the moment, like because y'all won as a unit. Y'all cut up that year. And Erica, this is where I'm saying that we get misconstrued about ranking kids and tiering kids and watch. Erica played a phenomenal game. But just like in the finals, you can be like, man, Wiggins played good enough to be MVP in the finals. But Curry, you know what I'm saying, played his ass out too. That's how I was looking at it that day. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like they was always trying to compare y'all to, you know what I'm saying? One thing, the maturity that I give y'all is that some way y'all found a way to where if it was a problem off the court, when it came to handling business, it wasn't on the court. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids these days can't handle it. You know, you see them more battling themselves on the court than playing against the team. And so that's what I'm trying to do with helping by cheering kids, because kids get so caught up in a number and feel like they're obligated to be this and obligated to be that. You know what I'm saying? When we're really not there. You know what I'm saying? We have to be truthful to our kids. You know what I'm saying? There's not a kid in this state that you'll be like, oh, man, that girl can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? In my book. Because it's a lot of things that come with it. Attitude. You know what I'm saying? Your mental has to be right. Are you willing to be away from home? You know what I'm saying? Can you survive being away from home? Like what's going on in the environment, can you deal with it at the time? And so I just feel like kids just see the glory, but don't know what it takes to get the glory. And that's what's going on with these kids now, because more parents are catering to them and feeling like their kid are obligated because they're paying this money to do this. But I never felt that way. But Kyla, that's what I was finna say. I just felt like it was a mockery, because the only reason I never asked you to play after that second year, because that second year after election them had left, I just felt like, man, it was so many kids in that tryout. It was so many kids. You remember we had tryouts? Man, it was so many kids there. And Coach Red, you know what I'm saying, was there. And when Coach Red was there, I felt like we had some help. But it was just so many kids. I couldn't turn nobody around. And all I wanted to do was try to help everybody. But I found out that you can't help everybody. So when I shut it down after the second year, I could have asked you to play with me, but DJ was trying to use me to bring you up there, you know what I'm saying? And still was trying to charge $750. You got me messed up. I'm not paying you nothing, so she's not finna pay you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming up here helping you. Least you can do is help me. We driving 3. He wanted you to drive because I used to catch a bus every weekend and go up there and practice with the team that I was coaching, which was going to be a sophomore team, which you would have been on the team. You know what I'm saying? And the team was cool, but I just didn't like the way he ran things. That's when AAU just threw me for a loop then. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, I just felt like, man, this stuff.
And that could be a big thing of what's going on now, though. Like more for it being a flashy and money thing versus actually teaching fundamentals. That's what a lot of people are missing, fundamentals. You know, teaching them, like, when your back is against the wall, what are you gonna do? Right. What are you gonna do?
We got kids that are considered Danny Dozens that are going JUCO. They are going JUCO in state, but they are considered Danny Dozens. Only because people are overhyping them, you know what I'm saying? Needing kids to play for them, you know what I'm saying? And so they're overhyping kids just because that don't mean you're helping the kid. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I never guaranteed anything to y'all. All I was doing was on the outside was making sure if I'm gonna help you and you want me to charge them X, Y, Z, I need to know, is it gonna be some folks there? As long as there's some folks there, I ain't got no problem. I ain't got to talk to nobody. These girls gonna take care of themselves on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like
every tournament we went to, it was big name schools there, like big name schools. You had every level of school there. You had some of, you had some of the SECs, you had ACC, Big 12, Pac-10. Everybody was there. So you left it up to us though to show our talent.
Yeah,
right. Do it within our
I never overhyped anyone. I never tried to try to put y'all on a pedestal, because at the end of the day, I used to always tell you it only goes so far for girls anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's so much bigger than what we got going on. But I knew if y'all were able, but I would motivate y'all and be like, well, they say everybody on this team, that girl going to Tennessee, that girl, they're going to Duke. You know what I'm saying? And we would get on there and smash them. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like it wasn't nothing.
That little fire, that little extra fire was all we needed.
Oh yeah, but y'all caught a little Hollywood ghost after we won the national championship, because your mama had came to Nashville. First game we played, we running a defense that we've been running the whole time, kicking tail. Now all of a sudden, y'all don't know how to run it. Your mama over there hollering out, get him out that defense. Yeah, your mom, get him out that defense. Man, that's when I really gained respect for you, Lex, and I knew Lex had some respect for me. Man, you yelled over there at your mama and told her, shut up. We've been running this defense. You know what I'm saying? I said, Lord have mercy. I said, but the only reason I never came out of it, because I'm more like, y'all playing yourself, not me. We've been doing this. You know exactly how to run this, but y'all out here being lazy. Because for one, you think because you don't won this national championship that everything is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they invited us to this tournament for free on the way back home and everything. I said, man, please. Man, but yeah, so Kyla, you took the JUCO route, right? When you first got out. Explain to some of the people that may be watching or may watch one day on, like, what's the difference between JUCO and, you know what I'm saying, D1?
A big, honestly. I feel like with JUCO, it's kind of like, for me, I feel like JUCO was high school ball, but like on a little faster level. And then also, I don't think people it's like you coming out, and then other people who are JUCO. So it's like, if you're trying to go next level, you gotta realize, like, they don't want you, or they gonna want somebody, but they want the program.
Who TV is that? Who TV is that in the background?
That's Michael. That's Michael. But for me, JUCO and D1 was totally different. It was like JUCO was kind of like high school, but a little faster. And then when I got to D1, it was like, wait a minute, this ain't. I was expecting this, because it was like my JUCO workouts they were tense, but they weren't as tense as my D1. So I had literally my D1 position coach, I'll never forget. She put me in her office one day, and she was like, she showed me a board, and she literally had people she would recruit for like our positions, like the 4 and the 5. And she was like, I love you, but she was like, this is a business. This is how I feed my son. She was like, if I gotta choose you or my son, it's my son. So then I was like, oh, basically, it's a business. It's like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't put the work in, it's like, they're gonna get rid of.
Did you not want to put the work in, or you had just lost motivation?
I think I lost motivation because for me, when I was in JUCO my sophomore year, towards the end, I told my mom, I come home. I never forget, I come home crying. I was like, Mom, I don't think I'm finna play nowhere. Like, I think I'm finna just not play ball after this. And she was like, well, why do you say that? And I was like, well, because all the people who were interested in me at the beginning of the year, I haven't heard from, like, I haven't received, because I know, like, beginning of my sophomore year, I was hearing from, what is it, Florida A&M, Jackson State, that was sending letters, Southern Miss. And I was like, I ain't heard from nobody. So my mom's like, well, just keep your academics up. If you can get a scholarship academics, that's what we'll do. But somehow, they got in the mix. They called, we were talking, then they fell off. And I was like, okay, I guess basketball's not supposed to be. And then literally March or April, they called me for a visit. And I went ahead and signed because I was like, it's either this or,
Oh, don't play no more.
Right. And that kind of did deflate me because it's like, I know I'm a player, but I think with me, it was like, if you don't motivate me the right way, I'm not
It's about placement. It just seemed like maybe at the time they was trying to fulfill that business scholarship, you know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't lose it, you know what I'm saying? Because if they would have wanted you, it would have been a long time ago before the last minute. And that's what kids not understanding. Like, a kid to get misunderstood with an interest. A college may say they're interested. So what? I'm interested in $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like with me, it was like they wanted someone, but they didn't go. So I was their next option. So then it's like, okay, well, they just showed you they got other people they're interested in. Now you gotta work. But then to me, it got to the point where it was like, I'm working, I'm trying, but it's like, I'm not getting no recognition. Like, it's always a smart remark. And it was just, for me, it was like, I don't want to play ball no more. And I actually told my coach, we was talking, my head coach, and I was like, she pulled me in the office one day and she was like, what's your why? And I told her, I was like, I honestly don't know anymore. And, we had to talk. She was like, well, if it just got to be for school, make it be the reason you finish. And I hate that it was that way, but it was just like, I feel like I wasn't understood.
Yeah, I hate it was that way too, because I always feel like placement with kids defines the kid. Because those 4 years that when you leave home, like, your parents are trusting you and trusting whoever you're with to mold you into a young lady, you know what I'm saying? Because you're away from home, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. I just feel like that I wasn't able to contribute more towards the aspect of the recruiting process, because I definitely don't think you were a JUCO player, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Definitely don't feel that way. You standing 6 feet pushing the ball. Like, if people didn't understand how to use you or to put you in the right situation, it was something wrong with them, honestly. But I can also say that some of it does fall on you, because life doesn't present everything the way you want it to be laid out. You know what I'm saying? But life will lay itself out for you. It's all about on how you take the roads. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you still turned out to be a successful young lady. You know what I'm saying? But those turns and those opportunities in life help you prepare you for your next journey. You know what I'm saying? So you can look at it like you got discouraged from basketball because, you take your story how you want to take it, but you also take it that it still made you stronger, because every day you didn't want to go to practice, you went. You know what I'm saying? Every time you didn't want to run, you ran. Even when you tore your leg up, you still came back, still trying to give it your all, finding a way. You know what I'm saying? So that pushes you through certain steps of life that you don't even understand. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, don't never doubt yourself. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's what it had got to. You know what I'm saying? Because shoes wasn't feeling like you wanted them to feel starting from high school. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going the way exactly like you wanted to your junior and senior year. You can honestly say that. You get what I'm saying?
My junior, sophomore year, to my ACL, junior year, to my ACL. Then my senior year, we got a new coach who basically made me back to the basket. Like, I was not allowed to shoot threes, not allowed to do any of that. it was strictly back to the basket. And I think my mom even said like I was better when I was like 8th, 9th, 10th grade year.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You was free. You was free. You know what I'm saying? And we still was finding you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when somebody put a label on you that don't define you, you know what I'm saying? It causes, you know what I'm saying, changes. But Alexis, you're unmute. How was it at Buffalo, Alexis? That's what I want to know.
So let's see. Buffalo, it wasn't bad. Let's be honest. I was a baby when I went. So homesickness played a huge part in it. A huge part. And you know, like Kyla said, college is a business. And by me being a baby coming out of high school, going all the way to Buffalo, where I had no family, you know, none of that can just pop up and see my games or anything like that. I had to wait till like a holiday for them to come up and visit. That played a huge part. But Buffalo had so many opportunities for me that I probably didn't see at the time. Like, you know, basketball, college.
It's just probably because due to when you did transfer, that happened. You know what I'm saying? That made you feel like. So we'll get to that in a minute. But Buffalo, what?
So for me, coming from Coach Lindsay, I was with him for 4 years basically. Then going to this new coach, and her type of coaching was very different. She was down your throat. That's what's gonna come out. Whatever she say, you know, that's what you're gonna do. You waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. for practices, then you gotta turn around and go back at 6. You know, like that was very draining. And to come to that, I feel like was just different. And then I wasn't able to like go home and get my mama's love and to calm me down and stuff. So I stayed in myself a lot. But she was a really good coach, and she allowed me eventually to do things that I would like to do. So she allowed me to like shoot threes eventually and stuff like that. But by that time, I was already in my own head.
Yeah, you was in your own head.
Yeah.
Now that happens, don't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So what put you in your own head? Well, like what?
Let's see. I felt like it was childish, but I felt like, dang, I was pretty dang decent in high school, pretty good in high school. And I come here and I'm averaging like 8 points a game, 4 rebounds, and I'm a freshman, but I felt like everything was falling on my shoulders because I just take everything and put it on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Versus being open and looking at the big picture, like I just produced 8 points and 4 rebounds, you know, to help my team win. And I'm playing against older people, so why not bring up my game, you know, elevate my game to, you know.
I feel you. So
and it just caused me to get in my head because I didn't like that.
Okay, so you get in your head and you say you want to transfer.
Yes.
All right. So you transfer. Doing that transfer portal is way different now.
Yeah.
Than it was with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like,
I couldn't go anywhere in the same conference. I had to do a list of schools that I wanted to, that I was thinking about going to, and stuff like that.
List? What was your list?
I don't remember. That was so long ago. I honestly have no idea. I knew it wouldn't be any schools that was in the conference of Buffalo, which is the MAC conference, Mid-American Conference, because they were all up north. And I feel like if I'm gonna go to another school, I'm gonna get closer to home. So I think State was one, Southern Miss, maybe Ole Miss. I only had like 2 big schools, so those 2, which I felt like I wasn't that good to play in.
At that time, you was in your head. You was in your head because at that time with Ole Miss, you could have dominated. And then look at this. This is what I would say. When she transferred, Kyla, what grade was you in?
Was it my senior year?
Going into her senior year. Think about if you would have quit, wouldn't have doubted yourself, the motivation that would have gave Kyla her senior year. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hypothetically speaking. You know what I'm saying? But we live and we learn. So think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like you was truly doubting yourself because Ole Miss needed your ass back then 3 times. They needed you 3 times, bro. They were so sorry at that time. Ooh, they were horrible, bro. And you was doubting yourself. I can't believe that. I did not know.
And I didn't discuss that with anybody. That was just me. And like, it was me. All me.
So what made you choose La Tech?
So at that time, Pat Summitt's son was a coach, and I was like, well, if I can't get to Pat Summitt at Tennessee, I'm gonna try to get the closest thing I can get to her. And I went on a visit, and I just had I was closer to home. That was a big reason. Some of the coaches there were my assistants my freshman year at Buffalo. So I kind of felt like I had a sense of home there already. And the coaches and everything, the players, they were real down to earth, cool. They was like, let me tell you, you come here, this is what you're gonna get. You know, like this is what we don't do, this is what we do. They were just telling me the truth, and everything that they said really happened. Like by being in Louisiana, Buffalo, we got everything was paid for, everything was A1, you know, we get money and bag and stuff like that, and a lot of gear. Now Tech, we didn't get as much gear as we got on my way out, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so that was a big thing. But I was like, you know what? I don't care. I just want to be happy. I just want to play ball and be able to let my family come see me.
Yeah.
I
truly hate that I didn't get a chance to come see you play. I don't know how you feel about talking about this, but it was something that went on when you was in college. Like you were literally like involved in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with Pat Summitt's son, doing whatever the case may be or what had happened. Like, how was it adapting? You know what I'm saying? Afterwards, after you first, I'm pretty sure you, like anybody, you hear about it first, but don't want to believe it. But then when you see it for yourself, you be like, what the?
Yeah, I was crushed because I didn't even get to play under him, you know. And during the practices, when I was able to practice and stuff, he was like, see, this is what you'll do, this is what you'll do. And then he was like coaching me up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. So I was hurt, and then I was very hurt because the coaches, because I had spent the whole year with them basically, you know. So I'm learning them, they teaching me, we doing film, and I ain't even in games, you know, stuff like that. So we're building a bond. I'm like, I can't wait to play, you know. Yeah. So I was crushed. I was hurt because then it was going to be a whole new staff. And there was a question of, are you going to transfer again? Or are you going to sit here and, you know, learn a whole new system that you just learned in less than a year, you know, stuff like that. So I was hurt. And, you know.
How was the new coaches?
They were.
From what I see, you get a lot of love from La Tech. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They like coming in, it was difficult because they had their system and I was stubborn. I said I was very stubborn and I wanted to do things the old way. You know, new coaches, new system, you know, new practice goals. We had to meet practice goals before we could get a uniform. Yeah. So it was different, but you know, in the end, it taught me it taught me toughness.
And they got to be kind of hard. They got to be kind of hard too, because those coaches didn't recruit y'all, but they have a way of. I also think that's a pro and a con too. To me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they recruited me at Northwestern State, so it kind of just circled back.
Yeah, but what I was finna say was like, when coaches have so caught up in their system and don't coach to the players, sometimes coaches have to adapt to the players. It's your job to be able to put the players in the best position possible, not stick to your system. If you done got this new job and you didn't recruit none of these kids and you expect them to run your system, but these are not none of your kids. That's why I say it's all about placement. That's where Kyla went wrong at. It was just all about placement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even with you, it was being homesick in Buffalo. It wasn't nothing wrong with Buffalo, but it was just all about placement. That's the only way you're going to get the true definition of who that person is as a ball player. You know what I'm saying? So well, you're 1,000-point scorer. You're 1,000-point scorer at La Tech, right? Like you did, and you still manage. Like I say, same way with Kyla. You didn't like the system, you know what I'm saying? But you still managed to find a way to find your itch in that system. You know what I'm saying?
It was one point in time they called me in the office. They showed me practice film, and they was like, "Do you think we would play you practicing like this?" Like they were almost about to send me home because we butted heads like that. And I think at that moment I was like, okay, they don't care, like Pilot said, it's a business. They gonna get theirs one way or another. You're gonna either get in the line or not. And so I think after that moment, and we sat down and talked, and we talked like adults. We talked about, things that they didn't like, things I didn't like. And, I think that's important for coaches and players to be able to talk in a respectful way, in an adult way of, adaptations that you can do. And once we made that change or whatever, the come to Jesus meeting, everything changed, and I started flourishing.
All right. Okay. Man, like I want to just tell both of y'all before we move on to the next topic, like having y'all like during the time when I started coaching, it was real hard on me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my wife now. You know what I'm saying? Because she was my girlfriend. Like she was there during the time, and she got a lot of the bad end of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, with everything, with her helping me, y'all don't know what y'all meant to me at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just felt like y'all was just helping me. I was helping y'all so much. Like, man, Coach Ray taking us here. He got coaches calling us and stuff like that. Man, y'all was literally like awakening me back up because I felt like I had done lost everything. I really do appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So, like along this journey that I'm finna go on with what I'm finna try to do, I'm gonna still need y'all help. So, like, I'm finna ask y'all some questions. Like, what do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Is going on right now with, you know what I'm saying? Mississippi basketball is what we really gonna touch on anyway. Like, I'm not gonna try to talk on nothing else. We need to try to help what we got going on in this state. But what do you think are one of the main problems outside of kids not getting to work and AAU coaches trying to get over? What's the main problem of what's going on? Kyla, we can start with you first.
Oh, I think one of the problems is some of these kids aren't even real basketball players. Just put it out there. Okay. But I think coaches are now more into it about their name and money. Like we said earlier, it's not really about, are you really taking time with them and working one-on-one? Are you giving them the stuff that they need, like to help them grow as a player? That's not it. And in high school, I went to a high school basketball game. It looked like elementary kids playing ball. Like it did not look like high school basketball. And it was just kind of like, I can't go to another game because it's not, no.
And see, and I'm the same way, but you'll have an article written on probably one of those kids you wouldn't have seen. You know what I'm saying? Saying there X, Y, and Z, and it's not there. So like we have people in this state that's really had just made our state a mockery due to ranking kids and doing things like that. So like with the tiering, and what I'm saying is, because I'm gonna ask y'all to do something, because along the way I'm not gonna put my list out of tiering of how the kids gonna be until January, because if I put a list now, that'll be saying that I done did the work and I haven't did the work. So I am going to go around and see what kids have to offer, but give them a true evaluation, you know what I'm saying? And not have colleges, you know what I'm saying, just picking a kid because they got a relationship with an AAU coach or everything. You will truly know what you're getting with a kid, you know what I'm saying, if through the evaluation that I'm going to give you. Because honestly, man, we probably don't have but a handful of D1 players, but they are not bona fide. You know what I'm saying? We have a kid in Germantown. If you see a player, Alexis, well, if you see a walk in the gym, you'll be like, I don't know what Coach Ray talking about. 6'5", play point guard. You know what I'm saying? They will say she's the #1 player in the state, nationally known. You know what I'm saying? Top something, whatever in the country. But honestly, at the college level, she's only going to be able to play for a certain amount of coach. The wrong coach is going to send her back home. Attitude is horrible. Cussing a coach out. You know what I'm saying? Like making her teammates. She doesn't understand her personnel to me. You know what I'm saying? She'll throw a rocket pass to a player that don't know she's not going to catch a rocket pass, but it looked good that you throwing it because she's wide open. You know what I'm saying? You don't know your personnel. You're not making nobody better around you. You're going to play a stretch 3 at the next level anyway. You're not going to play the 1. You're not Asia Wilson, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody told her this since she was in the 9th grade. She done lost the hunger from the game. Seemed like she done got out of shape, you know what I'm saying? And if she's been that for the last 3 years, she's not been able to win a state title. She's not, I wouldn't say she's overhyped, but the hype that they're giving her, it should be somebody molding her to really understand what's going to happen on the other side of the street. Because at this rate, you need to go to Jackson State. You don't need to go nowhere else. Like, you would dominate the SWAC with your attitude. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but I don't think Coach Reed gonna put up with that junk she do in high school. I want y'all to check out, and her name Madison Booker, but y'all, if y'all can, find a way to check her out. You know what I'm saying? She's not as advertised, but she can be worked with. But to me, only people I feel like gonna work with is people in state. Because if she called herself going to see Gino, I think she'll be back home before it's all said and done. But
yeah,
I'm trying.
attitude definitely is a big thing. I learned that myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people feel like because you was in high school, you was XYZ, like you finna get this same treatment. Man, these coaches gonna kiss your tail until you get on campus.
Because they
And
trying to recruit all the best, all the things. So all they're gonna do is say, all right, sit on the bench next. And eventually you're gonna sit on the bench so much that you're not gonna enjoy it. You're gonna want to move. You're gonna want to leave. You're gonna want to transfer. You're gonna lose the love for the game. Because what you did in high school not gonna fly in college. It's always somebody better than you, bigger than you out there that they can use. It's always, you know.
yeah.
So
And that's what I be trying to tell people. Like, cause if you listen to certain people, man, it's these 3 little fat dudes in Mississippi that be ranking kids and be saying what they can, you know what I'm saying, do this kid's this. Man, you would think Mississippi is probably one of the best states that it is when it comes to high school girls basketball, but it's not. And we need to quit lying to these coaches and leading these kids into a deep depression stage, because it seemed like Kyla almost hit one. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no telling how it would have turned out without her strong backbone structure. You know what I'm saying? The sister, the mom. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I will say, y'all have a strong structure when it comes to family. You know what I'm saying? So that would falling down by the wayside wouldn't have been an option for Kyla anyway.
right.
But it was a state. Even me as a person, we done all went to a place of depression because something didn't go our way. But when it comes to high school girls basketball and they go off to college, that stage is hit when they go to college and ain't no mama around, no daddy around. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
To save you.
Yeah, and all you got is the influence of your peers. So ain't no telling what type of team you on. You ain't no telling what these girls own. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Ain't no
Exactly.
telling what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So you going through all these channels. Depression comes and you riding the bench. Oh, you finna, man, you finna go in your room and man, and
And cry.
what a wonderland. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, honestly.
what we have to do with our kids is not make them feel like there's, I wouldn't say something that they're not, but put them on a pedestal to a point that it'll backfire on them, to a point to where it may cause them to do stuff that they don't want to do in their life, you know what I'm saying? Or go down places like the drugs or whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure you done seen teammates, both of y'all done seen teammates that, especially Kyla, have you ever seen somebody that it was breaking them down more than it was breaking you down? Or Alexis, somebody that mentally been broke down because it wasn't paving out the way that they thought it was gonna pave out?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that just goes back to the very beginning, like you said, when you asked Kyla, like what do these kids need, or what they need to do. And I would say it's more so of starting with the basics. And then once they, grow and grow, I think that's when it's okay to give people their acknowledgement and stuff, but always let them know there's somebody out there working harder than you. There's somebody out there that can do the same things you do. So what are you going to do to outbeat them? So like with the girl
Exactly.
that you was telling us about, okay, yeah, she doing all this and that, but that attitude, like you said, is what's going to hold her back. That's going to stop all of her blessings, all of the people that's looking at her. Those small things play a big part.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that starts that should have been stopped in, when do you start playing organized ball? Middle school? That should have been stopped in middle school. That should have been addressed at middle school. So now that's not a problem. That shouldn't be anything that we should be discussing, because that's already have taken an effect. Only thing that we should probably be discussing is, okay, she can do this, she can do that. What else can she do to go ahead and maximize her game? What else can she do to go ahead? Okay, I see she going strong to her right. Okay, we need to work on this left. We need, especially when they're dominating, use those games to do stuff that you're lacking and stuff.
Kyla.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
Don't even worry about it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
You all right. But what I was going to say is, like, like I say, I'm breaking down the tiers. I'm going to break it down tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. Tier 3 is more going to be like NIAI, JUCO, you know what I'm saying? But if you got a star by your name in tier 3, you know what I'm saying? That means you could be a JUCO out of state. That means you work for JUCO scholarship out of state, because they don't give a 3 supposed. I think that's how it goes or whatever. But tier 2 is going to be, you know what I'm saying, D2, D3, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Tier 3 is going to be D1, you know what I'm saying? But if you got a star by your name, that means you mid-major, you know what I'm saying? You got 2 stars by your name, that means you're a high major. So we can have a list of tier 2s of 60, 70 people, but they don't have a number on them, but they in this tier to know that they can go to college. A lot of these kids get discouraged because I don't make the Danny Dozen list, or I'm not top 20 in the state, or whatever, whatnot. But if 60 of y'all are on the same level and y'all fall in the same tier, what difference number does it make? You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's just like with when I was Danny Dozen, and Eric's sister Amber, she made the Danny Dozen watch list. But you couldn't tell her no different. She was still going out balling every single day, and it's like that. So back then, yeah, I was a Danny Dozen, but I'm still trying to win state championship. I'm still trying to get to college, trying to see what all my options are and what can I do. So with that ranking didn't do anything. It just put a bullseye on my back to let me know that I got to bring it every day. I got to do everything, you can't, it's little room for error.
Yep.
With certain stuff like that.
Because I seen a kid last year or for the last 2 years, they done graduated now that never got the recognition. But everybody whose name was on that list, she done popped them dead in the mouth. Bop, bop, bop. If it was all individual stats, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But that's why, because it's a kid in Tupelo that everyone's hyping up, but every highlight I done seen, she been playing against cones, you know what I'm saying? Because we tend to overhype talent due to inflated talent, you know what I'm saying? They're playing people that are blind, but got eyes open like they can see, you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
that's what's hard to like even be able to gather what's talent and what's not.
Exactly.
Because with us, and even the people before us, we were battling. You know, we were battling. There was not a day that you didn't think that we left everything out on that court. And that was because we always felt like we had something to prove.
Exactly. Because the next year after you had left, it was, you know, it was like all about Victoria Vivens. And not to take anything away from her, but it goes back to placement. You know what I'm saying? She went to the right school, you know what I'm saying? And that school put her in the right position to be successful in life. But Kyla will tell you, we played against Ron Nichols and Victoria Vivens in Jackson. And Drake, when I tell you Chandrika Cecil went to work on Victoria Vivens. I think Victoria had like 4 points. She scored the first 4 points of the game. I called a timeout. I told Drake, I said, maybe she is the best player in the state. But I said, if she's scoring you one more time, I'm taking you out because you ain't finna embarrass yourself and you ain't finna embarrass me. And I swear for God, did she score any more, Kyla? Victoria scored no more.
And see, that's just all the motivation. That's something to prove. Drake had something to prove. Like, nah, I don't care what she say, how many points. Because she was averaging what, 30, about 30 some a game? Exactly. So that was big because, you know, that was something to prove. Like, nah, I'm going to show you. Because at that time, they were in the same class, right?
Yeah, they were the same grade, same class, and everything. And like, I just feel like college coaches can mess people up too, because at that time, Matt Isdale was at Ole Miss and everything. He had just got the job at Ole Miss. But I really just think that he came in with the wrong intentions on how he recruited Drake to me. I feel like the best place for her was to go with Victoria to Mississippi State, but Matt had to convince Drake, like, y'all won't work well together. Y'all won't work good together. Like, we need you here. You know what I'm saying? And that's the pitch that a lot of coaches give. Like, when they find out one player they was going after, but then went somewhere. Now this other player they think about going the same place. They start throwing shade. That's when you should know that it's a problem. Like, you're not in this for me. You in this for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's the part that I hate. You know what I'm saying?
I always remember when I was getting recruited, by this time, Kennesaw was recruiting me heavy, Northwestern State, Buffalo, and those were the 3 that I had in my mind that I was going. Kennesaw, I called them and I let them, because they had came to Oxford, went to school, every class with me, you know, went to my house and stuff. And it was at that time where I knew like she was in the best interest for me because she did all that. She came down and I called her and I was like, hey, I'm calling to let you know that I've come down to my final 2, you know, and this is what I think. And she gave me her opinion on both. And she was like, I'm not tearing any of them down. She was like, if you go here, this is what you'll be able to do. This is what you'll do. If you go here, this is what you'll do. This is what, you know, she's good at talking about the coaches and their systems. And so I was like, I always remembered that because most coaches tear other schools down, you know. And to this day, I have so much respect for her. When I see her, we're speaking, you know, talking on everything. And I think that's how it should be. You know? That's how it should be.
Yep. So like I say, and that's what we're finna stop. Because those 3 big people, you know what I'm saying, that's doing this ranking, they only ranking them because the kids playing for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what make them qualify the ranking about it?
because they play for them and they're just trying to hype up what's going on. So this is they got this Rucker kid. It's a Rucker kid that's a 2025 out at Tupelo. Like when you look at a 6 feet guard, you know what I'm saying? Cool, slim or whatever, whatnot. I haven't seen him play against any talent. But there's a kid, a black kid, her last name is Black, you know what I'm saying, at Olive Branch. They got her ranked like number 16, but she don't play for them. She don't play for them. But you're not telling me there's 14 or 15 other people that's better than this kid right here. So me not having a dog in the fight anymore with my college connections and being able to relate to colleges and seeing what they truly want, I will be able to give a true evaluation on kids. You know what I'm saying? And make them college coaches feel like if they're wasting their time or not. Because I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not doing this for a particular kid or these kids because I'm cool with Coach Thompson at Olive Branch. I'm literally trying to help what's going on in this state because they are laughing at us. We had Danny Dozens going JUCO. We had Danny Dozens that didn't even have D1 offers until somebody them pulled a string toward the end of their senior year, right before graduation. You know what I'm saying? But that's all because it's a business. People are trying to fulfill obligation because in years to come, they got other scholarships with other players that they're thinking about and hoping they can keep them. So they have to keep a certain amount of players coming in every year. You know what I'm saying? To keep the budget high. So with that, to keep our kids from transferring so much in our state, you know what I'm saying, and our kids following these worldly things that's going on in life, you know what I'm saying, because it just seems like the stereotypical thing of what these kids are doing. If it don't go that way, they just, oh, I gotta go find me a woman or something. You know what I'm saying? They just fall into the stereotype of something they don't have to. But what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to help this state, not just kids, this state, when it comes to girl basketball, is that we need to do a better job of telling our kids the truth. Like, we don't need to lie to our kids. All these kids are able to play at the next level, but don't feed their head like they're able to go to UConn when they need to go to Northwest. Like,
and build from there.
Yeah, because it's nothing wrong with going to a JUCO. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with going to a low major D1 just because you felt like you should have went to South Carolina, but Jackson State is the only place. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all about the placement for you, because at the end of the day, you can go to UConn. That don't necessarily mean you're going to be happy.
Or play.
Yeah, or play. You want to
go somewhere. If you're a real ball player, you want to play.
You damn right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my thing with that, so I just want to try to help kids and give a better example of what I can do to help kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I have no problem with helping no kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally do things for kids that people don't even know about. As far as like training, I train kids all the time, but you don't never hear me talk about it because of the fact that I'm not doing it for my, you know what I'm saying, benefit. I'm doing it to help the kid, because at the end of the day, as long as me and the kid got an understanding and we respect each other, I can care less what nobody else do, because we're doing it for a bigger purpose. And basketball is just a guide. You know, you're a good trainer too, though, so that's the right person. Oh yeah, but basketball is just a guide. You know what I'm saying? Because basketball brings you so close to life situation. You know what I'm saying? The wrong bounce of a ball, out of bounds here. You know what I'm saying? A dead ball here. Just making the wrong turn in basketball, just like making the wrong turn in life, can change the whole game and perspective of what's going on. So I want to provide an avenue for kids to not to feel left out, to not to be labeled as a number, you know what I'm saying, and everything, and classify them where they need to be classified at, because certain kids lose motivation when they don't see they made a list, or it distracts them or from becoming who they need to really be. So, like, with that really truly being said, that's what I'm finna try to do. Like, my next episode, I'm gonna probably do it on my own and just answer questions and everything and try to reach out to more college coaches on what's going on. But we're going to do a better job of policing these evaluations when it comes to these kids. We're going to do a better job of letting our kids know where they truly stand in these evaluations, because just because they say this kid is better than you, that doesn't mean it's true. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, people get caught in the numbers when this kid is not too much better than you.
Right.
We so much bad basketball is being played because of the number. You know what I'm saying? These girls come in here, they be like, "Oh, you know she can do this." You know what I'm saying? Well, they said I was the number one player. Now we out here playing. You got 4 other people on the court with you. Now you out here trying to prove who the number one player.
Right.
When it shouldn't even be about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We should just be working with these kids, making them better, you know what I'm saying, and putting them in the right position for them, not for these AAU
right.
teams.
You should be learning from each other. Because, you know, that one practice, I think it was me, Drake, and Justice. And Drake was fast, so I'll get out. That girl beat everybody down the floor in 3 dribbles. Dunk, almost dunk. And I was like, oh, no, I can't let this younger person outdo me. So I went to my strength. And so by that time, by maybe a few practices in, I was learning stuff from Drake, and Drake was learning stuff from me because I was more physical than Drake. I would use my muscle and my power to go, and Drake she was falling back. So you learn from each other, and you use that and build yourself up, make yourself more marketable.
And you had more of a base of a people knowing you who you were than Drake too. You know what I'm saying? And you was the type of person, like, you wanted to win, like you truly wanted to win. You didn't care if you scored or not. And it was games we would be playing, and Drake would go down the court not touching the ball 2 or 3 times. You would literally make her come get the ball. Like, these folks can't hold you.
For that.
Yeah, like, these folks can't hold you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally used to go on the road with 7 people sometimes, 6 people, and just kick people tail, bro. Like, we weren't making excuses, like, because Justice was like literally our leading scorer. She was shooting
in that corner 3.
In that corner 3, popping them. And we played the national championship without her and still won. First place I stopped when I got back. We went and took her medal to her house. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, at that time, that's when I seen with kids that they get discouraged. She thought we had forgot about her because she wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? But she was down there breaking records.
Right.
Kyla, what you doing?
Give me a second.
You working? Yeah. So, but yeah, what's she working at, Lick?
She do part-time at a store. Let me think. Dollar General. Part-time at Dollar General. She at school teaching.
She on the register. But that's what I want to try to do. And then I'm pretty sure you got connection with your old coaches and some coaches too. You know what I'm saying, on what we're trying to market and stuff like that. But like I say, I'm not going to come out with my tier of kids until I go out. And by me being banned from Olive Branch games until January, all I have to do, you know what I'm saying, is go around and see kids. You know what I'm saying?
What you do?
Man, it's more personal. We're gonna have a real show about that one day as they get closer to me, getting off my bandmanship. You know what I'm saying? It's really eating me up that I won't be able to see Olive Branch girls.
I know you act. I know it's something with your mouth. I already know.
How you figure it's something with my mouth?
I know you. When you passionate about something, you're not gonna let it go.
I would just have, like, we'll talk about that later, man. Like,
people sensitive too now, so
yeah. So I'm very persistent. Like, but anyway, so all I'm gonna be doing is riding around and by my little baby, like my little baby called herself acting like she want to play and got my wife more involved and going on. So, like, all we'll have to do is ride around and watch kids play. So if it's any kids that y'all may run across that, you know what I'm saying, that I need to check out, any high school coaches that may be watching or may watch this one day, if it's any kid that they need for me to come and see, I would gladly do that. But we're going to get it to a point to where we're not being made fun of. We're going to get these kids with the right people, because at the end of the day, we got kids controlling our state or monitoring our state when it comes to the game of basketball with our girls. And some of them really ain't never been involved in basketball. They life period, not the way they looking. You know what I'm saying? Like can't nobody with breeding treatments and stuff be trying to tell kids they good enough to play or they ain't good enough to play at the next level. We need to have some type of balance too. Like I don't need to think of cookies when I see you, but you evaluating basketball. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do that. And then you got AAU coaches out here calling coaches, telling them you better offer this kid, you missing out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to strong arm coaches. You're not benefiting the kid just because you're getting them a million offers.
Right.
And if you got 60 people in your program and ain't four people getting offers, it's a problem. So it's telling me that you're doing it for the money. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we're not going to do it for the money anymore. We're going to truly do it for the kid. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I say, Lex, with that being said, we ain't got to talk too much longer because it look like Kyler finna get fired.
My cat is doing something in the back, and I'm over here trying to help out.
Yeah. So, like, with that being said, I appreciate both of y'all coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to see how I go from here. I think my next show, I'll let y'all know when I do my next show so y'all can tune in. But I think I'm probably going to do that by myself and just answer some questions and really start going off on people and everything when it comes to what's going on. But like I said, I will be in a gym near you very soon this season when it comes to evaluating our kids. And like I said, once again, y'all two mean a lot to me, especially in my life. Y'all done helped me get this far, because at the end of the day, y'all really truly helped me almost raise Sylvia too. Like, she was such a baby, you know what I'm saying? And
she was definitely, yes.
I definitely didn't know nothing about raising no child, you know what I'm saying? And y'all took her in and everything. I almost got her hit by a car though one time, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
Story for another day.
Yeah. But I appreciate everything that y'all have done. I appreciate y'all joining me on this show. Like I say, when I talk to y'all, it ain't nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can continue to have these conversations. And Kyla, you work tomorrow?
I work at my teaching job, then I'm off.
What time you get off?
I get off at 3:30.
Where your other job at? Because you're gonna be
Galena.
too far. Where?
I'm be at Galena. You know Galena Elementary. You know this.
Oh, but yeah, it's too far. I was gonna try to get you to come and watch some games tomorrow.
What time?
Well, they started too. But they started too. They started too, and you too far, Alexis. Your ass supposed to been up here. I asked you to come up here to help me.
Look, I can never find time.
I understand, Mom.
Not even at work. Work. I don't get off till 5, and then it'll be like 2.5, 3 hours to get to you.
Oh, I understand. Believe me, I understand. But when we might make that trip that way, if it's any talent that way, you know what I'm saying? Make that trip that way. We're gonna have to definitely stop and see you. But Kyla, I'm gonna definitely see you soon, because you ain't that far. But you far, but you ain't that far.
Yeah, maybe on the weekend I can come get a workout since it's been a long time.
Yeah. If I
fall y'all ain't gonna be no good.
Come on, let's do it. I'm down.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm for real. Here you go.
I hear y'all telling the story. That's the second line Lexington told me.
I give them all. So I can't go no more now. Then it's just gonna be it on that. It's gonna be that on that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so like we'll talk later. Like I said, I appreciate everything. And this is just my first show of many and everything. So we gonna end it with this. Like I said, this new to me. So all this stuff is new. So as I get better, I'm gonna be really talking shit. But right now, I was kind of like reserved because I walking my way into this because I don't want everybody to understand who I am. And I think y'all done help people understand a little bit of who I was. You know what I'm saying?
Very appreciative of you, definitely.
Oh yeah. And so like I truly appreciate y'all. And I plan on having some of y'all former teammates and other people that I've coached, you know what I'm saying, to give people an understanding of me while I'm out, while they out seeing me. I'm gonna have to send y'all some TTG hoodies too. I'm working on getting me some TTG hoodies made.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely have to send y'all some so y'all can rock them junks. Or
Good.
whatever.
Now it ain't gonna be the skinny size when I play. You have to go up a few sizes.
What?
Right.
You gonna have to go up a few sizes. It ain't gonna be no little medium now. I ain't a medium no more.
Oh, me neither. Wait till y'all see me. Wait till y'all see me. And then I meant to tell y'all too, y'all dead wrong for having me walk around looking so sick. Man, I was so poor when I was coaching y'all.
Don't sweat.
Huh?
What'd you say, Kyla?
What'd you say, Kyla?
Y'all hear me?
What'd you say?
I said them cargo sweats with those Adidas.
You get them? But see, but that's how you knew, like all them teams we was helping, like the Tennessee Glory, like all them coaches used to be decked out. Bro, I'm glad I have on orange over there, bro. Like I was going through so many things in my life. Like I wasn't studying none of that stuff. Cause I remember Drink asking, like, why my coach ain't got no clothes? Like I'm like, dang, I wasn't even studying none of that stuff. I sure used to wear the same cargo pants every time. Y'all got my wife over here laughing at me.
Tell her hi.
They said, hey, she can't raise her arm too far. She ain't put no deodorant on, baby. Yeah. Yep, she done been with me for a minute though.
Yes,
I give it
in the trenches.
Yeah, she are one of the strongest women I know. She be beating me up a little.
Yeah.
You probably deserve it.
Not me. Not me. But yeah, like I say, we finna end it right here. And I appreciate everything, y'all.
Yes, definitely. We must do this again with my teammates.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. That'll be excellent. Excellent. If we're gonna talk college basketball to help these kids, we definitely can do that. And shout out to Erica Sitz for getting her manager job at Ole Miss today. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go Erica.
Yeah. But what y'all think Ole Miss gonna do this year? Who y'all got?
I honestly haven't been able to focus on basketball or look at anything preseason yet. Because school is occupying my time. But by the time basketball season, I'll be ready. I'll let you know. I'll be ready.
All right, they pretty good. They supposed to be pretty good. I know.
Yeah. I like Coach Yo. I like what she's doing.
Everything I done heard about it have been positive. It's like she done had a lot of stuff to clean up though. You know what I'm saying? Since we've been there. Because I know for the 8 years before she got there, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Man, Matt Izzy was so horrible. We'll talk about that another day. That man was horrible.
Yeah, he
was horrible. So I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Bye,
All right.
y'all.
All right.
All right.